I just recorded this video and then QuickTime Player cut me out in the middle. So I'm pissed. I am anxious as fuck. I've had honestly a pretty, not great day. And here's the situation. I am driven mad by my visions. And I'm also driven mad by my social anxiety and my fear that what I want to build is crazy. So I would like to take a little bit of your time today to invite you into this madness and to basically pitch my world domination plan. Um, but the flip side of that is that it's actually a world domination plan that does nothing for me because it's a nonprofit idea and I have no ulterior motives besides I'm honestly just scared as fuck by the state of our world, and I just want something that helps me sleep at night. So let's discuss the state of care in the United States right now, which is pretty much like there is not. And so, what I mean by that, and I got a lot of flack from boomers online for saying this, but I stand by it and I think it's true. It is my opinion that most easily accessible forms of care in the United States don't exist anymore. Like, it's very hard to get therapy. It's very hard to find a homeless shelter with beds. It's very hard to find an addiction treatment center that has um affordable and easy openings that is also not trying to like scam you out of all your money. It's just very hard to find care in the United States right now. And that is a very tough reality and it's a very tough situation. And a lot of our institutions, like the police, like our hospitals, like our politicians, you know, depending on what side of the aisle you're on, probably both sides of the aisle agree, they're not really doing all that great. And so my kind of like my visions are this. I think our world is very scary and I think okay, let me rephrase that. I'm a believer in software as a tool for change. And I'm a believer in software as a tool not only for money but also for care, for compassion, for community, for all these different C words. And my idea, and hear me out on this, is that I want to build a network of different pieces of human services software. And I want someone to go through and to say what they need help with. And then I want to custom build them a plan of these different micro pieces of software that fits directly to their needs and directly to whatever they go through. Because a lot of these issues that people face are intersectional, right? Like someone who's going through an abusive relationship is going to have mental health issues and they might be more likely to be disabled. They might be more likely to have lower financial literacy. Like there's all of these things that intersect within all of these different areas of life that make people less likely to get the help they need. And I think that sucks because our current nonprofit kind of like sphere is that a lot of stuff is in person programs, which isn't necessarily something that a lot of people, at least in Gen Z, that I know would really be willing to go to or even have time to go to. Like, who has time to like do stuff outside of work, right? And the second thing is like a lot of these nonprofits have sometimes a religious connotation, which can make some people feel really unwelcome or can make them feel like they're being pressured into religion in order to get help, which a lot of people, or at least to me, like I just don't think necessarily that that's cool. I feel like it's kind of like guilt tripping Jewish mom vibes. But also like a lot of these organizations only focus on what can be like one layer of the issue and they might focus on like different sub layers, but I think there's just so many aspects to what gets people into these situations, that it's not just enough to treat it at one layer, right? Like, if you take homelessness as an issue, right, there's kind of like the issue of, first and foremost, you need an address and you need consistent access to emails and to a phone to be able to apply for jobs. Some homeless people definitely do not have that. They also need consistent transportation, they need job skills, they need access to clothing, they need potentially like all of these different things. And so the situation is it becomes very hard for homeless people to even like get back up off their feet, even with help, even at a shelter, right? And there's often all of these different rules, restrictions that are put in place by the nonprofit because they have such limited operating budget that they really need as few people as possible to be using their services. And so, particularly, I'm thinking about homeless shelters who sometimes have this rule where it's like you have to be out of the shelter by 7 a.m. and then you have to reline up again by 9 p.m. And also shelters can have a really high rate of sexual abuse and sexual assaults. And so there's just so many layers that go into any situations that someone will face. And I feel like if we only treat it at the layer of just like one thing, we're doing people a pretty big disservice. And I also think, bringing up again that software is care, I think we really underestimate the impact that software could have if it was just built to care for people. Like, realistically, the the $1 billion VC number that a lot of tech companies are trying to build for is, you know, in place because of the reality that a lot of the financing in the tech industry is just from venture capitalists. And there's often not a lot of space for these younger, or not younger, but I guess these more smaller niche startups to really get in there and to make a deeper impact, but at a smaller level to a smaller group of people. Because if you're trying to be $1 billion company, you want to be as broad as you can, and you want to appeal to the richest people that you can, because you don't make money otherwise. So I think those things are true. And the other thing is, like, software is amazing for templatization. Like, it's amazing for reusability, it's amazing for all these different things. And if you want to build, let's say, a collection of pieces of software, it would be really easy to write one thing and to reuse it, and then to write other things and reuse it, and to basically create like a bunch of different cake boxes of packages and then build these like beautiful pieces of software. And so what I'm getting at is that I'm plagued by visions, and I am so anxious about it. But I cannot imagine a world in which I do not try to build this. And that sounds pretty crazy, but I already have all the different pieces of software that I want to build. I already know what the marketing funnels are going to look like. I know everything about it. And it's just time to go ahead and do it. And so those like smaller subsections are security system, mental health, physical health and caregiving, and then also like resources and other just like stuff to get through life and to figure out life, and life's toughest moments. And then self-management, which is stuff like, have you talked to your family, have you talked to your friends, all these other things. And so there's like these 5 different things that could really be knitted together to make tools that comprehensively cover a lot of different situations. And so my vision of how this is actually going to be accomplished is that there's going to be like a core of care, which is pretty much like, this is how people find the help that they need on the internet, and they come to us, and then we say like, these are the next steps that you can do if your husband just left you and you're pregnant, or like, these are the next steps that you can do if you're trying to immigrate to like a different country, or if you're trans and you're trying to immigrate to a different state that's more accepting of trans laws. And also like, these are the things that you might need help with, and these are the solutions to those things, right? And then the next level is like a little life management co-pilot, where it's just a very broadly appealing piece of software that just helps you figure out stuff. Like, Have you done your chores today? Do you need to pay your bills? Have you talked to your friends and family recently? Just like, how's your life going? What are you doing? And then make that life management more impactful by like bringing in all of these different niche pieces of software, right? So I don't even know. I'm just like so fucking tired, and I am just like, I feel like I'm insane. Am I insane? I don't know. I just know that the shit that comes out of Silicon Valley these days, I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm just saying it doesn't feel like it's actually helping with what my friends really need help with. And I'm not saying that, you know, the nonprofit industry is not doing the absolute best it can, but I am saying, like, we have so many issues and we have so many problems, and we need to start trying shit to see what we can do, right? Because I think realistically, we've been throwing band-aids and we've been throwing innovation and we've been throwing like all of these different grants and stuff behind shit, and it just hasn't been working. And I say that as a mental health advocate who built a mental illness app thinking that it would fix the mental health system, or at least help with that, when in fact it does not. And I don't think the solution is to fix the world. And I don't think tech will fix the world. But I do think, end of the day, life is very lonely and people struggle with a lot of different things. And sometimes you just want to feel like something cares about you. And sometimes you just want to feel like somewhere in some faraway land, someone made something for you and they saw you and they recognize the pain you're in and they want to stop that pain. And I just really want to build a bunch of different pieces of software that do that and that help people get to better futures and that help people see that their lives do have value, even if they feel like they don't. And so, my vision is that I build free human services software to get people to a future that they didn't think they could have, but they can. So, do I have money to do this? No. Do I have a large number of people helping me on this? No. Am I particularly good at programming or design? No. Do I have hubris and the willingness to walk backwards in front of God into hell while facing him? Yes. So, I don't know. I just feel like if now is the time to build something crazy, might as well do it. So, that's my vision. That's what keeps me up at night. That's what I think about every single day, is just there is such a clear path to me to be able to help more people than are currently being helped. And I just want to do it all the time. And I just think about it every day. And I wake up and I just want my friends to be happy and healthy and cared for. And I want to feel like, oh my god, not my mascara, but I just want to feel like my friends and family are going to be taken care of. And I'm going to build, hopefully, hopefully, um, this like beautiful connected network of software, but also this little AI dude, or maybe this little AI chick who will help take care of them, even if I can't. So, that's my little emo ramble. I'm super anxious about it. I keep on thinking about, like, what if I build this and nobody likes it, but I'm also like, shut the fuck up. So we're working on that. But if you're like, why is Amanda here? What is the purpose of all this programming? What is the purpose of like her talking about these subjects? And the answer is, I'm trying to figure out a way to build the most impactful and effective software that I can think of to help the people I love. And that's really what it comes down to at the end of the day, is what do you build and what does it do to the people that you love? So that's the ramble. I'm gonna maybe chill for the rest of the night and snuggle with the orca, but I just feel so deeply like software could be doing so much more than it is. And with generative AI and with everything, I just like, I see it in my head and it drives me crazy that I can't actually get it on a paper. And it drives me crazy because it feels like I have a ghost pretty much following me. And every time anybody says like anything, I just like see the ghost and they're like, what do you think about? And I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't even matter. So I'm just trying to figure out, how do I, as a mediocre programming 22-year-old with no money, and no bitches, and no clout, build this? And so maybe that's what this channel is about, is we're just gonna fuck around and find out together. But that's my world domination plan. I don't have anything like crazy. I don't even want a Lamborghini. Um, maybe a Fiat, but you know, like I just really feel like, I don't know if it'll work, but I want to try. I want to try. So that's that. Thank you all for watching me cry into the camera for yet another video. And I hope you don't start having visions too about this, but if you do, welcome to the club. So that's that. I'm gonna hopefully enjoy the rest of my night, but I love you all. Please take care of yourselves. And I hope that I can build something that would really make you proud. So that's it. Good night.